Hello students, I hope you all are fine and safe. In the previous video, we started up with the third lesson in history, that was the river valley civilizations, under which we did the Egyptian civilization. Now before starting today's lesson, let's have a quick recap of what we had already studied. So let's begin. Now here on the map you can see that the earliest civilizations flourished near the rivers, and the four river valley civilizations were the Mesopotamian civilization, the Egyptian civilization, the Indus Valley civilization, and the Chinese civilization. Egypt is located in the northeastern part of Africa. The Egyptian civilization is one of the oldest river valley civilizations. It flourished on the banks of River Nile, which flows along the entire length of Egypt. And without River Nile, Egypt would have been a desert, and hence Egypt is called the Gift of Nile. The Egyptian history was divided into three periods. First one, the Old Kingdom, which started from 3000 to 2000 BCE. Then the Middle Kingdom, which started from 2000 to 1750 BCE. And the New Kingdom, which started from 1580 to 1085 BCE. Next we come to the Egyptian society. Now the Egyptian society was divided into three distinct classes. Now in the first class, the king was at the top. The king had unlimited powers and was the political and religious head of the people. He was called the pharaoh, and he was considered to be God's representative on earth. Now beside the king, there were other privileged classes also, like the higher clergy, the rich landowners, and the government officials. The next category was of the middle class, which included the rich merchants, traders, skilled artisans, jewelers, teachers, doctors, and writers. Next, the third category was of the peasants. Next, we come to the various occupations of the people. Now, agriculture was the chief occupation of the people, and other important occupation in which the people were engaged were making of weapons, furniture, jewelry, glassware, pottery, etc. Now, this was the portion which we had already done in the previous video. Now, we'll start up with today's lesson. So, let's begin. Now we come to the family life of the ancient Egyptians. Now family was important to the Egyptians' life, especially in the lower and the middle classes. Now most of the families had 4 or 5 children, and in the Egyptian family, the father was responsible for providing the family. The society was patriarchal. The father was the head of the family, and patriarchal means it was ruled and controlled by men. Mother used to stay in the house and raise the children. Women were given freedom and respect and enjoyed many rights. They would inherit property and even take the reins of power in their hands. For example, the legendary queen Cleopatra. Children were given freedom and had opportunities for enjoyment. The girls helped in the household chores. Now here in the next picture you can see the family, father, mother, and the children. In the next picture you can see the legendary queen Cleopatra. The next head which we'll see is amusements. Now amusements means the way the Egyptians used to entertain themselves. Now chess was the game Egyptians played for recreation. Now here in the picture you can see the Egyptian is playing the chess. They also played musical instruments such as harps. Now here you can see in the picture harp has been played. Then flutes. In the next picture you can see then the drums. They also knew the art of singing and dancing. Now, here in the picture, you can see they are singing and dancing. Then, hunting and fishing were popular pastimes of the Egyptians. Now, here in the picture, you can see they are hunting and they are fishing. Next, we come to the ancient Egyptian religion. Now, the Egyptians believed in many gods, as here you can see the picture of many gods. Now, amongst them, The sun god Ra was the most important god, and the pharaoh was considered to be the son of Ra. Now, here in the picture, you can see Ra, the god of the sun. Now, some gods were represented by symbols such as falcon, crocodile, etc. Now, here in this picture, you can see god Horus. Now, god Horus was represented by the symbol of falcon. Now, falcons are birds of prey. They are of different species. Now, here in the picture, you can see a species of a falcon. Besides these, there were other gods also, like god Osiris. Now, he was an Egyptian god and an important god. He was the god of death and the ruler of the underworld. Now, here in the picture, you can see god Osiris. The next god was god Anubis, who was an Egyptian god of death and was represented by a jackal. Next was god Amon. He was considered as the king of gods. Now next is the picture of a goddess Isis. Now she was the goddess of the moon and was considered as a healer. She had the ability to cast spells and bring the dead back to life. The Egyptians believed in life after death, and whenever an Egyptian used to die, they believed that the body should be preserved so that the soul might live on within it. Now, these preserved dead bodies are known as mummies. Now, these mummies are embalmed. Embalm means to treat the body with chemicals to prevent it from decaying. Now, here in the picture, you can see a mummy. A mummy is a dead body whose skin and flesh have been preserved by either intentional or incidental exposure to chemicals. Egyptians had developed the art of preserving the body to great perfection, and this process was known as mummification. Now, here in the picture, you can see the process of mummification, where the body is embalmed and kept in the coffin. Then the dead bodies were placed in the coffins. Now, coffins were the wooden boxes in which the mummies were kept. Now, here you can see the picture of a coffin box. The embalmed body, that is the mummy, was placed in a coffin and then put in a pyramid. Now, here you can see the picture of a pyramid. Many objects which were used by the dead person were also placed in the pyramid with the belief that the dead person may need them. Now, here in the picture, you can see the mummy, and the objects which were used by it were also kept. Next, we come to the achievements of the Egyptians. The first one is the pyramids of Egypt. Now, pyramids were the most impressive monuments of the Egyptians. Now, pyramid is an ancient massive structure with four triangular walls that slope into a point at the top. Now, here you can see the picture of pyramids. The pyramids were the tomb of the pharaohs. Now, pharaohs were the kings. They contained mummies, clothes, jewelry, and many precious items. When a pharaoh died, his embalmed body, that is, the mummy, was kept inside the pyramid. It was protected and preserved so well that it has survived for hundreds of years. The two most famous and spectacular ones are situated at Giza, near Cairo. The largest of the pyramids, that is the Great Pyramid, was built by Pharaoh Cheops, that is Khufu, in 2650 BCE. Now, here in the picture, you can see the Great Pyramid. It is one of the seven wonders of the world and took 20 years to be built. Now, here you can see the picture of Pharaoh Cheops. The tomb of King Tutankhamun was found intact in the 1920s. Now, Tutankhamun was an Egyptian pharaoh who ruled for a short duration. You can see the picture of King Tutankhamun. He started ruling at the age of 9, and that is why he was nicknamed as Boy King. He died at the age of 18, and he was one of the most famous pharaohs. Next we come to is the Sphinx. Now, Sphinx is a fine example of Egyptian sculpture. It is a mythological animal with the body of a lion and the head of a man. It is carved out of a single stone and it was meant to guard the pyramids. The most remarkable is the Great Sphinx at Giza, which is 240 feet long and 66 feet high. The next picture is of the temple at Abu Simbel, and the next picture is of the temple at Karnak. Now, both are made by the Egyptian kings and are awe inspiring. Next, we come to the Egyptian script. By around 3000 BC, the Egyptians began to develop a kind of picture writing known as the hieroglyphic, which means sacred or holy writing. The word hiero means holy and glyphic means writing. Therefore, hieroglyphics means holy writings. Now, here pictures and signs represented their ideas. It had about 500 signs. In the next picture, you can see the Egyptian hieroglyphics, which is a pictorial form of writing. They wrote on the bark strips of a plant called papyrus, and the word paper has its origin in the word papyrus. Now, here you can see the picture of the bark strips of the plant on which they used to write. The next picture is of pens which was made of reed with which they used to write, and the ink was made of gum and soot. Next, we'll see the progress the Egyptians made in mathematics. Now, Egyptians made great progress in arithmetic. They knew about addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. They were aware of the decimals and fractions. They could also measure areas, volumes, and distances. Next, we'll see the progress Egyptians made in science and medicine. Now, Egyptians made great progress in the field of medicine. One of the medical books gave a detailed description of the blood circulation system. The achievement of the Egyptians in the field of medicine can be proved by the fact that the mummies kept thousands of years ago are still well preserved. Next, we come to the astronomy of ancient Egypt. The solar calendar has been one of the greatest achievements of the Egyptians, as they needed an accurate knowledge of seasons, rains, and floods for their farming. They observed that river Nile flooded at the same time each year. They also observed that the star Sirius appeared on the horizon when the floods reached Cairo, and this happened after every 365 days. And hence it inspired them to make the first known calendar of 365 days in a year of 12 months, each of 30 days. Next, we'll see how did the Egyptian civilization declined. And the first point is, as Egypt was conquered by new powers. Next, the pharaohs fought for their existence against the invaders from the regions to the south of Egypt and Africa and the new powers across the Mediterranean Sea. And the last ruler of Egypt was Cleopatra, and after her, Egypt became a part of the Roman Empire. Hence, these were the reasons which led to the downfall of the Egyptian civilization. With this, we come to an end of the lesson, The Egyptian Civilization. I hope you all have understood it well. I'll be sending you the question and answers to be written in the notebook and the exercises to be done in the textbook. So till then, stay safe, stay healthy, and have a good day. Thank you.